So who here has a career plan? Hands up, master plan, any sort of plan. Okay, a lot of you. That's pretty good. And now I'm going to tell you why that probably won't matter. So today I'm talking about career path uncertainty, how to deal with it, and why it's not necessarily a bad thing. When I was your age and in high school, I had the whole plan. I knew every step. I had actually written down my entire life story for 10 years. And this is what I thought it would look like. I would graduate from school with a business degree, get a job in finance, and slowly work my way up until I was going to be the head of a large investment fund. Nice, clean, sequential steps, the entire way. But as you may have guessed from the title of my talk, that's not exactly how it turned out. This is what my career path actually looked like. I did graduate with a business degree. I got an incredible job at a school, but wasn't quite enough. So I moved to London, helped my firm build an office there, but then jumped to an even more prestigious investment fund with even bigger ambitions. And even with the dream job I had, that wasn't quite what I wanted. So at a whim, I quit my job, I traveled the world, and I came back to Toronto. I started a company, ChargeSpot. I was a starving entrepreneur living on ramen. You guys will soon know the feeling. We raised money, we grew really fast, we failed, we struggled, we recovered, we grew again, and here I am, standing right here in front of you guys today. And you guys are all probably thinking, man, that's really messed up. It is a super disjointed career path. But what I want to share with you is that it's actually quite normal. Everybody has a plan. Every successful person has a vision of how things are supposed to turn out. But they also face uncertainty, missteps, unexpected events the whole way. In fact, the only constant throughout any number of career paths will be, you guessed it, uncertainty. And so when I graduated from university, got my first job, my peers would sit around the lunchroom table and we would all strategize on how we would achieve our goal of becoming a partner at a really large investment fund. And do you know what they're doing today? The first one is a partner at a large investment fund. He actually made it. The next one is a CEO of a chicken transportation company. The next one runs a chocolate factory in California. And one buys and sells software companies out of Florida. None of my friends would have guessed that this is where they ended up. But each one of them is really successful and very happy in their own right. Career path uncertainty permeates all sectors, roles, walks. You cannot avoid it. So if everybody faces it, why am I here talking about it to you guys today? Well, it's because startups are a case study in uncertainty. And let me illustrate this for you. This graph shows that nearly 90% of 22,000 startups faced uncertainty, hurdles, and failures along the way. 90%. And remember, behind each and every one of these statistics is a person not so indifferent for myself. They're smart, ambitious, and they had a plan so compelling they were given millions of dollars to execute on it. But yet, 90% of them didn't go to plan. I was actually told by my CEO coach just about a month ago, dealing with uncertainty is my job as a startup founder. And so, good thing uncertainty is a constant, because now I will always have a job. So let's talk really quickly about some of the causes of this uncertainty. The first one is external factors. Some of them could be as simple as one company buying another company, your role being made redundant, and all of a sudden you're out of a job. Maybe it's a new job, maybe it's a different career, but you're not on the same path. It could be as severe as war. War changes not just careers, guys. War changes lives, peoples, countries, right? Completely out of your control. So let's illustrate this with the last one. How many of you guys in the audience remember the recession of 2008? Hands up. Wow, that was way more than I expected. That was at the start of my career, so I probably seem like a dinosaur to you guys. But I saw my peers, rising stars, people with 4.0 GPAs, the first picks when people were hiring, lose their jobs overnight like this. Why? Because a few bankers were too reckless with their money at the time. In fact, during the recession, nearly 1 in 8 people lost their jobs. The average Joe had no role to play in this except getting screwed, and it was completely out of their control. So, okay, kind of dire, but don't worry, it'll get better. Next, internal factors. Your values, how you perceive the world, will change over your life. And that is going to redefine your definition of success. And if you have a new goal, a new definition of success, your career path is going to change so you can achieve it. It's really simple. And over the next 4 years, as you guys go to university, you will set out on a very different path than the one you're thinking about today. The interactions you have will alter how you see the world. Let's take a very simple example. If you are in a classroom that prioritizes openness, acceptance of different opinions, those values will form and you will carry those forward. On the other hand, if you are in a class where the prof prioritizes undemanding respect, authority, you're going to develop values of conformity and you'll take that onwards. You can't change that. To further illustrate this, guys, who here has an idea of what they want to be right when they get out of university? Hands up. Okay, quite a lot of you. This is how many of you will want to change your career paths in just the first years that you're out, let alone if that is the path that you stick to over the next 4. For me, I had the job I had dreamed about when I came out of school. But experiences volunteering in Kenya, meeting the now love of my life, my wife, helped me prioritize relationships, community, spending time with people that matter. Spending time with entrepreneurs made me want to build something, make a difference. And all of a sudden, everything that I had strived for, worked 90 hours a week for, didn't matter. Now I want to build something, create something, and help people build their own careers. Okay, so I basically told you that you can't control what's going to happen in the world, and you can't control what you're going to change in the world. It's not all dire. So what do? Up to this point, I've told you that uncertainty is the only constant in your career path. But now, I'm going to give you guys the power to add one more constant into that. And that is learning and growth. So each one of these unexpected events, the twists, the setbacks that you guys are going to encounter provide an amazing opportunity to learn. So you don't make the same mistake again and you come out a better person on the back of it. This type of mindset is called the growth mindset, and it was pioneered by Professor Carol Dweck, a Stanford University psychologist. Professor Dweck doesn't see the world in terms of successes and failures. She sees the world in terms of learners and non-learners. But it's no coincidence that the learners are the successful ones in life. And the fact that you guys are sitting right here today signals to me that you're probably learners. And that is super important because if you got 1% better every day from now until the time you finish university in 4 years' time, you will literally be 2 million times better. Do the math. It is not easy to learn, develop, and maintain this mindset. I struggled for years doing it. As you might have remembered during my career slide, the squiggly one, I told you that we struggled at ChargeSpot, and we did. If I had let those failures get me down, slow me down, and I didn't adapt and learn, we wouldn't be here as a company today. We wouldn't employ the people that we do today. I wouldn't be standing on this stage. That ability to learn, adapt, and grow is what's going to keep you light years ahead of your peers. Okay, guys, so let's wrap this up super quick. Takeaways. 1, always have a plan. The most successful people in the world have a plan. But 2, expect that plan to change. Regardless of how good you think your plan is, it will not survive first contact. Remember the 22,000 startups? It didn't survive first contact. But finally, learn, adapt, and grow as this plan changes. That's really important. If you guys can learn to do that today, you'll be able to enjoy the journey. And I'm sure that for each and every single one of you, it will be a phenomenal journey. So guys, thanks a lot for taking my time. I hope you have an amazing day. Congrats on being here.